Hey guys, welcome back to RBR. I'm your host Raz, sometimes known as Mr. AMG, but perhaps it's more accurate to call me Mr. AMG GT because today I'm here to collect my 8th AMG GT. It's a car I've been completely addicted to, and today I'm going to collect the final version, the swan song, the Big Daddy, and that is of course the Black Series, the GT Black Series. But as a super special treat for you guys, it doesn't end there. I'm also going to show you the brand new AMG delivery and handover hauls that they've just made. Right now, it's a paid for option only available to German customers. So that's going to be really cool. You'll get a first look at that. Then I'm going to show you, of course, my Black Series. The spec has changed since the specification video that I showed you last time. It has got something quite unique. It's a small or maybe a big change. I can't wait for you to see that because it's not aftermarket, it is an official change. You're absolutely gonna love it. We'll check out some of the iconic and classic Black Series as well. Guys, I can't wait, my heart is thumping. It's been years in the making. Bring on the Black Series. Okay guys, teeny weeny secret for you guys. I was actually brought here in that monstrosity. It's the EQB. How cruel. How could you do that to an AMG fan? Bring him here in an EQB. It's blasphemous. It's awful. Anyway, let's get these two started up right now because you want to hear them right now. I'm sure you do. And then we'll head over to the brand new delivery halls of AMG. You're going to love them. Let's start these V8 beasts up. Okay guys, here we are inside the brand new AMG halls, the delivery halls. This is a really special place and it's full of surprises that I can't tell you about today. I'm just going to give you a very quick sneak preview. The surprises are here for the customers who get to experience them, and it's going to really blow them away, so it's not for me to show you that. But I can show you a little bit, so let me take you around. This is the entrance. This used to be the performance studio where AMG would make special cars for their most special customers who are ready to spend the money on them. And we've shown you this before in our factory tour. Now it's been repurposed for the handover halls, and it's a pretty special place. Let me show you around. So immediately over here, we have a nice bar area. You can see everything is AMG shaped. Even look at the bar area here. That is in the shape of the AMG logo. If I miss anything, guys, hit me up in the comments that Raz, you missed this or that. I'll be fascinated to see what you guys note. We are, of course, part of the world's fastest family. When we call it the fastest family, it's not just about the speed of the car. There's a real connection between just the customer and the engine builder, for example, and the vehicle. This trinity that makes the whole one man, one engine thing so special. So when we talk about world's fastest family, it's not about speed, it's about this special connection that we all have with the brand because of, frankly, how unique it is. Now, as we leave that bar area, check this out. Some of you may have seen this in the press release. These are the new handover halls, AMG. And we've got some very, very special names on each of the 3 booths here. There are 3 delivery booths. They go from A35 all the way up to S-Class, and there's another special area for even more special cars. But these are the 3 main halls that you have. And as I said, we've got some special names here. Look, we've got Mr. Albrecht, who was the founder of AMG himself, bringing that red pig first to the race, making a name for AMG. Mr. Melcher as well, the engine genius, where our one man, one engine philosophy still flows through today. And over here we have the town, Grossersbach, where Mr. Albrecht was born, and that are the 3 letters that form AMG. Back here, we still have the performance studio, which is going to have a more special purpose in the future. And again, you'll learn more about that as customers in the future. Over here we have a nice seating area as well, all very welcoming. We've not had anything like this here at AMG before. Now I'm going to show you one of the booths very briefly, just to give you a general idea of what this experience will be like. So we're going to go into Mr. Melcher's booth. You can see we have a seating area here. Maybe you're doing some paperwork, maybe you're discussing spec, whatever the case may be. There's a TV here as well for said purposes. And then some really nice details. I mean, this cover here, it's Oh look, carbon fiber layered, which is very, very nice. For someone like me, got to have a copy machine. Well done, AMG. I'm liking that. And then you'll find your car likely in this spot here. What will AMG do with all these tools that they have at their disposal here? You'll have to wait and see when they start doing deliveries here. I can imagine it being very, very exciting with the control of lighting, etc. There's a sign of the times. Goodness gracious. What is this doing in an AMG handover hall there? Not happy about this. Or maybe I will be. Let's see what the EQS AMG drives like. Now, as I come out this way, spoiler, there's my Black Series sitting over there, surrounded by the other two legends. And we come back, and that is the delivery hall. What will go on in there? Well, as I said, German customers have to wait and see. Now, this is an even more special area. This is reserved for Project One and potentially Black Series customers only, and it sits on the other side of our handover halls. Again, I can't tell you anything about it, but it's going to be special for those customers, and I'm sure you'll see it come to life soon. I love this. How cool is this? Little details like that. I love the light that shines through here. Imagine the photography that you can do in a place like this, a lovely photo spot, and then the car will come to life under these spotlights here as well, which again, they can all program them to do various things. And it's great to have the Falterbach crest. I think it's such an iconic crest in the car industry. No one really does anything like it, and it's gorgeous. And like having the AMG slats behind it, which are now so iconic ever since the sports design logo was fused into the AMG one. It's such a cool concept. This whole area is gorgeous, and it's the perfect place now to unveil the car that I've waited so long for. 7 cars later, my 8th AMG GT. And to be totally honest with you guys, the journey has been anything but smooth since ordering it. First of all, with the price of the car. I've always said publicly, I think it's overpriced, despite the fact that it's sitting quite prettily on the market now. I just think it was the wrong side of 300 grand. Then the launch video, which in my opinion was so cringy. I mean, you compare it to the GTR that used Lewis Hamilton, it could have been fatal for me and other customers. Then you look at the delays that customers faced. My car was built over a year ago and was delayed, as with everybody else, due to carbon parts. And all these questions bubbling together led then to my interview that you watched with Chris Harris, where we both sat down and discussed, is the Black Series ever going to be able to match the brilliance of the GTR, which is A, cheaper, and B, has proved itself as a fantastic AMG? That's not an answer I can give you today, but at least we can start the first step of the journey together and do the unveil and begin running the car in. So guys, as most of you know, factory collections not available for customers in the UK. So I had to spend my own money and essentially create and concoct this entire factory tour just for my own benefit. Because it was my 8th GT, I really wanted to make it special, and I wanted to experience this because we haven't done factory tours and factory collections in the UK for almost a decade, and I never got to experience that. So what I did was actually get the car delivered first to the UK. I know, I'm absolutely bonkers, but I'm an AMG nut, so this had to be done for the Black Series. So it first got delivered to the UK with Mercedes VIP, Sytner. Big thanks to Jamie and Kirsty for sorting all of that out. It was PDI'd, registered, etc. I had Auto Communications, Nick come down, he put the tracker in there as well. It then went for PPF to Topaz detailing. More on that later. So essentially I got the entire car ready, even a little change that I want to show you that is going to be pretty cool on the GT Black spec. Then we got Unique Transport to ship the car here from the UK. And these guys, they actually ship cars to and from AMG all the time. The stuff that they do with AMG, I can't even say because it's top secret, but let's just say they transport a few interesting projects here and there. So I trusted them to bring the Black Series here, and then I got a call from AMG that the car has arrived and it's ready to be collected here. Then me and Jamie set off from the UK on a rather wild and interesting journey to try and get to Stuttgart in time to collect this car. Okay guys, here we go. 8th AMG GT. Super excited about this. I haven't seen it in its final form yet. I did get a sneak peek in the UK, but now I'm going to unveil it to you guys. It's been a long time coming. It started with the amazing GTS that I had finished in Iridium Silver. We then went GTS Edition 1, then to the amazing GTR, then the GTCs and the Edition 50s, the GT63 as the crazy 5-seater family car with the same DNA. then the GTR Pro. I'm not a fan of the Pro at all, I prefer the normal GTR, but the experience I had going to the factory, seeing my car made, signing the torque tube and getting to document the making of the GTs was an experience I'll never forget. And it all winds up to this, to the final one, the Black Series. This is the halo of AMG. This is the dark side of AMG. Let's do the unveil. I hope you're ready. I call this car not the Black Series, but the Bat Series. There you go, guys. What do you think of that? Is that or is that not absolutely stunning? Seeing it properly for the first time, it was a bit like getting married. I didn't want to see the bride before the wedding. I was very insistent on that, especially with the changes I've made. The car is finished in Magno Graphite Grey. I was originally, as you saw in the specking video, going to go for Magma Beam Orange because it was kind of the launch color, but I was convinced by someone at press who said, go for this because it's going to be amazing. You were absolutely right. This is mind-blowing. And as a Batman fan, I'm just going mad over this. This is, I think it's even meaner than Robert Pattinson's Batmobile in the new film. And I don't think I'm wrong on that. If you think I'm wrong, tell me in the comments and I'll tell you you're wrong, frankly speaking. So guys, here's the Bat Series, Magno Graphite Grey. I'll walk you through some of the options. First of all, the big change that I did on here, I think it's a big change, and it's an official one as well, and makes my Black Series a bit unique, is the proper carbon ceramic brake covers. Rather than the black ones, where I think you lose all the detail and the interesting look of the wheel, because it almost looks like it doesn't have a brake caliper, with the proper bronze goldy ones, which I think, frankly, are the nicest carbon ceramic finish that you get in a caliper in the industry. These just look amazing, and somehow the wheels look bigger, and each corner of the car looks that much more interesting, particularly when you take a look from this direction, and then you can see almost like fire within the wheel arches. And I like that, because that's kind of the color you see when the brakes get really hot as well. So it's almost like it's on fire while it's standing still. So I like that. I think that's a really nice touch. I'd love to know what you guys think. No other Black Series in the world has that at the moment. And I think really, really nice touch to an overall lovely spec, because I think it was all black then otherwise. It was going to look boring, wasn't it? But how could you ever call this thing boring? Jeez. Now, I think this is a car where color really doesn't work on it. It's really very much like a GT3 or a GT4 racing car, where there's so much carbon on it that as soon as you add some color, all the shape in the design starts to look a little bit wrong. But here, when it's almost uniform, yes, it's gloss versus the Magno paintwork, which again is a lovely contrast. But regardless of that, the actual color is essentially uniform, and it looks that much better. That's why I call it the Bat Series, because nothing breaks within it. It just looks like AMG's Batmobile. Same story on the rear now. The rear of the GT Black Series a little bit unique to the other GTs, because you've got this element of the gloss black boot lid, which again, in most other configurations, frankly, just doesn't look that right. On this though, it's totally at home. And if anything, it breaks up the areas of the car in a better way, and kind of, I think it makes that entire area look better. Even the wing just doesn't look out of place on the black car. It just looks like it's part of it. Now, while we're on this side, drawing attention to the plate for a minute, obviously Mr. AMG, my nickname. Also, some of you call me Mr. AMG GT because of the amount of GTs I've had. So Mr. 67 is a bit like GT. I know it's a tenuous link, I know that, but that's why that's there. You can also think of 1967 when AMG was founded as well. So either way, a nice link and a nice little private plate on there. How good does the car look, by the way, in the handover halls? Really impressed with this. Customers are going to absolutely love the experience here. Now, one nice link that we have to our older cars is this particular bit on the wing here. And you'll see this across all the Black Series. If we come back to the CLK here for a moment, again, you will see that mimicked, that shape. This is really the Black Series shape. You'll see it on the SLS, you'll see it on the CLK, you'll see it on the C63. Even on our first one here, on the SLK 55, it's right there. So all of that DNA flowing into this, but obviously no other AMG Black Series has been quite this aggressive. Love to know what you think. I'm calling it the Bat Series, that's the name. Get used to it. I think it looks fantastic, personally. Now, let's go inside. I want to show you the inside as well. Not that many options available on Black Series. You had colour, in the UK anyway, you had colour, and then you had choice of either the comfort seats or the track seats. And my experience with the bucket seats on the GTR, didn't really like it, so I have gone for the comfort seats. Let me show you them now. Most people will poo-poo it and say, why have you gone for the comfort seats? But let me show you how wonderful these look. Check these out. Yes, they are the classic Recaro AMG Performance seats, but with that lovely Black Series detail in the middle. I intend to use this car a lot. It's not just going to be track days or weekend car. I'm going to take it to the grocery shop. I'm going to take it through the drive-through, and I'll do faster stuff in it as well. But I'm not fooling myself. I'm not Morrow Engel, but I will enjoy this to the absolute max. Right, guys, a few things that you get with your Black Series. One is a giant picnic table that could feed a small Asian family of 35. We get the car cover, as you saw earlier, which is really nice because it's got so much detail on it. There's some interesting things in the Black Series that I'll cover when we do the full review that I've shown you before, but they are pretty awesome. I mean, look at this carbon boot. This is ridiculous. Absolutely lovely. Anyway, not to get distracted, there are some interesting things in here. For example, we get instructions on the front splitter that you can pull out manually, and then you put in these, just like a GT3 racer. So cool. I'll show you that in the full review as well. This is quite unique, and you would never have seen this in another AMG. This is for your camber settings. And look, 8 different settings. That's so unique, and you can see how race focused thus this car is. Now, the other benefit of the comfort seating is no roll cage, no heavy roll cage in here. We've just got that strut brace in the back and more luggage space for more fun and goodies. Now, I've actually got one thing that you still have to do the old keys, is the old AMG key cover. So we're going to do this right now. So that's what you get in the tin. Let's pop off the old one, and on goes the AMG crest right on your key, the way it should be. So that's one thing. Then I brought my usual new car bag, which has got stuff in it, so nice black microfiber. I'm an Asian, so you know, tissue box, standard. Wet wipes, because coffee stains. You know I'm gonna have coffee and McDonald's and all kinds in this car. Of course, you got your USB cables. This is useful because there's a lot of Dynamica or Alcantara or whatever you want to call it in the car, and a simple suede shoe brush, really useful for keeping that fresh and clean throughout the life of the car. Little water bottle, again, a lot of gloss parts in the interior as well to keep that clean. This, I don't know where I'm going to put it. This is a lovely Affalterbach AMG crest badge. I'd like to put it somewhere in the car. I don't know where. If you've got any suggestions, put them in the comments. I'd like to know where you think this should go. Someone might say shove it up my rear, which would be fair enough. Now I'm going to do a nice little mod in a minute, but before that, this keyring was the first ever GT keyring I had. It was on my AMG GT S that I loved dearly. I used to call it the Silver Arrow because of the way it looked, and I've decided that I'm going to put that on this key that doesn't have a blade. I'll do that later. Affalterbach crest is the name of the game today, and these are going to replace our standard valve caps, so we'll have the Affalterbach logo on there instead. Right, guys. Now, first ever time they're going to start my GT Black Series. Excited about this. I know people have said that it doesn't sound amazing. I kind of like the idea that it sounds different to all the other GTs because we've got such a different engine in this. So let's see what it sounds like. It's going to sound pretty damn awesome as well. A very unique AMG engine. Let's get it started for the first time. It does sound menacing. It does sound menacing. I know it's not GTR, but it's got its own unique tune. And I like that. I don't want it to just be like every other AMG GT. Of course, the car needs to be run-in as well. Half of that will be done on the way back to the UK now, which is great. And then soon, with the full review, I'll be able to show you what it actually sounds like properly and how quick it drives as well. So guys, let's take the car out and let's get this journey back to the UK started. My God, it's so foggy and broody out here, guys. It's like a scene out of Batman Begins or something. And this is why I call the car the Bat Series. I had to just quickly show you while it's out here. Aren't I right? Isn't it just the Batmobile, just built by AMG? Now we've got a long trip back. We're going to be driving straight back 12 hours to the UK. But doing that, the car is going to go through so much wear and tear. I was never going to do it without PPF. Let's go back to Topaz and talk about it. So guys, chronologically, I've just returned from a Falterbach. It was a grueling 12 hours, as you saw. And I want to show you the PPF that we did on the car. We're back at Topaz. This is actually the first inspection after a week of having had the film done. And this is something that they offer their customers. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the stuff that you get from Topaz, because they go the extra mile. Some lovely stock already here within their workshop. I mean, check that out. We've got a lovely shark blue GTS with the aerodynamic package there. Some seriously, seriously interesting cars. There were some amazing things on the other side of the camera that I couldn't show you, but they blew my mind. I did not expect to see them here. But because of the customer experience you get, I'm not actually surprised. Getting this car done was so time sensitive. The car came unexpectedly. I had to get the whole AMG thing arranged really quickly before winter set in, and I had to put winter tires on. And Topaz delivered on the timing. It was so tight, but it's been so well done. Now I want to introduce you guys to someone who you've no doubt seen on YouTube before, which is Nabil from Topaz.
Hey guys.
And we're going to be talking a little bit about what I loved, Nabil, was the customer experience.
Right.
In the sense that I've done a lot of PPF in the past.
You have, yep.
And when it comes to time-sensitive jobs, it's so important that if you say you're going to do it, it's got to be done in time,
That's why I got
right?
so many grey hairs.
That's why you got the I actually dye my beard. If anyone's wondering, I've got those white hairs waiting for the PPF to be done, and it's not.
There you go.
So this was really important to me. And obviously on a car like this, where it's a limited edition AMG, now sold out in the UK, it's got to be done right as well.
Of course.
You know, every bit of it. The aerodynamics are so extreme and extensive. The type of wear that the car will go under when we're driving, even 12 hours back from a Falterbach, it's going to be massive, right?
Of course, And this is, when you told me that you're going for the trip, I was like, oh my God, we have to get this sorted for you. Because I don't want, especially with the film, the paint that you selected.
We've got the Magno finish here, but we've got so much gloss as well. There's so many cuts. I mean, people have called this car like it almost looks like a Mansory type thing, right? Which is, I think it's an apt description, but it's so complicated. It's nothing like a normal GT.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's actually similar to the normal car is the roof.
Yeah, and maybe just the doors. Exactly. Everything else is different, right?
Everything else is different.
Now, the other thing that you guys do, you totally pattern these by yourself, right?
We have, yeah.
So should we talk around the car now?
Yeah, let's do it. I think so. I think it's a good idea for you guys to understand exactly where we go differently to other places.
What makes Topaz Topaz, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I think there's also, when we were talking off camera, and your experiences with other protection film companies, actually it's nice that you had that customer journey, and then you can see the difference. Just
I can appreciate like what makes you guys unique. I think that's what's important. So Nabil, let's talk about, I guess, first of all, the tightness of because there's so much going on in the front, right?
There is,
And if you look at, like, there's no tolerance here at all.
Yeah.
But you've got it so tight.
Yeah.
And here I can feel it's right on the edge. How did you get all of this right? What did you have to do unique on this?
Well, this is the thing. This is why with most of these cars we pattern them from scratch, because when you get patterns that are online, you're able to adjust them 100%. Yeah. But they're never going to be effective 100% or to the quality standard. Each company, each person has a different quality standard.
Correct.
So
like on this car, these are installed by hand at AMG.
Yeah.
So in every car, it's going to be very slightly different.
Yeah.
So like you guys had to actually redo the pattern specifically for my car.
That's right. And then we save it onto your chassis number.
Exactly right.
So the next time that you...
So if I need to replace that, or like the front bumper...
It's going to be with knowing that this flick is where
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that you saved my pattern to my car.
Yeah, no.
That's very cool.
We do that just because if you come back, it's a serviceable item then. So then if you come back, we know exactly which part it is, and we know exactly how it needs to fit. And the same thing, obviously, with this, because it's Magno as well, you need to make sure you get right up to the edges of it. Yeah. Because otherwise, one small chip on this, you know what it's like painting
a car. It's a nightmare.
Especially in satin paint.
Too expensive.
And then you have to go all the way down the side of the car. It's an absolute nightmare. So
then you've got areas like this.
Yeah.
That's saying something like a GT3 would actually be a separate part. Here it's not.
Yes.
And you've had to do it as part of the wing.
Exactly.
I mean, again, you've got it so tight. Right within there.
Exactly.
And then the joins here as well. This was a nightmare. It must have been. Look at that.
Yeah, exactly. Going all the way through. So when we're patterning, it's almost like artwork, because if you have a look at, for example, there's a seam here that we've literally just put right in an area where you can't see it, because the film can, I mean, it's physics.
And you did the same here, right?
Same there as well.
It's right within there.
Right there, because if you're standing here, you can't see it within your eyesight. So we do things in a way to make sure that the customer's always going to be happy with it. Aesthetics being number one for us, protection being number two.
And we were talking to Mazin earlier as well, and he said if you're serious about tracking these cars, you guys can even get like satin PPF around the wheels as well. Yeah,
we do it on the fascia of the wheel. Obviously, it's a very intricate thing. There's limitations to where you can and can't put it.
Yeah, and I guess it only works on some wheels, not all of them. But
that's right.
Again, it's a service that you guys tried and tested.
Yes.
And if the customer's serious, then it's available to them.
Exactly. And things like, for example, down the side here where it's high impact, we usually double up the material just to make sure that these kind of areas which are prone to damage get sorted.
And your workshop manager was talking about how this area is a separate piece because of that very reason. That should this get chipped, etc., he can simply pull this section off and then replace it, and then the car's always looking fresh. One thing I love that I must commend you guys on, and it's something that I forgot to tell you, and I thought there's no way that these guys have done this, and it's one of the worst parts of the GT, and that was that gloss center console. And you guys actually, I didn't even ask you to do it, but you PPF'd it, and to me that screams experience of knowing how to deal with this car, because that's one of the worst things about the GT.
It really is, and that's the whole point, because we get to see so many of these cars. I mean, I think this is number 8 that we've seen, or something like that.
That's the other thing. So an amazing fact is this is the 8th GT Black Series, just from UK stock, mind you, that Topaz have done. And if you think that there's only 40 cars total that are coming to the UK, and they've done essentially almost 25% of them. And all of them aren't delivered yet, so you might do a load more.
We have a few more forward orders, so we have another 6 or 7 that are going to be coming in. So there's a lot. I mean, the GT2s, for argument's sake, we did half of the allocation of the UK.
Wow, that's impressive. But rather than it being like an ego thing, the fact is it's the customer who comes in 100%. And places their faith in you. And I can understand why. For me, the things that stand out were the attention to detail, the experience with the vehicle itself, the timing and sticking to the timetable, and obviously the communication to and from. It's so important for a customer, particularly when something is so expensive, or not even expensive, I think when it's so dear to someone, to get that whole experience right, and to make, because car ownership generally, it can be quite stressful for these type of high value vehicles, and it's nice to take the stress out of something that is normally, frankly, a right pain in the arse to get done. So Nabil, buddy, huge thanks.
My pleasure, man.
Awesome work on that. I'm sure you guys are super impressed as well. As a customer, I genuinely couldn't be happier, and I've always heard about the difference of the Topaz experience. To be absolutely honest with you, I didn't believe anyone, okay? And I just thought, right, PPF is PPF, but I genuinely do understand, so hats off to you guys.
Thank you.
Keep it up. And now to close off, I'm gonna go back home and we'll oogle at this car one more time. So guys, made it back home. I still can't quite believe I'm seeing this car here finally, for a lot of reasons. The delay, the self-doubt in between whether I think this car is worth it or not. I made a lot of point of the fact that I think the car is the wrong side of 300 grand. I think it's a bit too overpriced. And for me personally, I generally don't earn enough to kind of afford a car like this. Actually, on that point, I must say a big thank you to Charles and Dean, who helped me get the finance done for this. I also used them in my M2CS, you guys might remember, but the effect that they had on making this affordable for me was massive. I really want to share that with you because otherwise, genuinely, I could not afford this car. It'd be too much money for me. I'm comfortable at the kind of GTR range in terms of monthly payments, but not something like this. And everywhere else I was searching, be it with Mercedes directly or elsewhere, the car was coming out with, say a normal deposit of around 10 to 15%. We were looking at monthly figures of well over £4,000 a month, right? Which are crazy. I simply can't afford that. With Charles and Dean involved, they managed to get the right financer involved who understood the value of the car currently in the market, gave a nice strong balloon at the end, and brought my payments right down to kind of GTR levels of sub £2,000. Now, you must understand that this is dependent upon the car, it's dependent upon the individual's financial circumstances, but a difference so huge that's allowing my dream to come true rather than me just saying, look, I'm going to cancel the order and not take the car, is massive. So huge thanks to them. Again, I'd recommend that you just get a quote from them. There's no harm in it. Might make your dream come true, or you might end up going somewhere else or looking at a different car, but it's well worth trying. Link is down below for those guys. So yes, a dream come true. The last of the AMG GTs, finally here. Can't wait to see the full review, because as you guys know, I've not driven this. I avoided the press test drive on purpose so I could experience the first time with my own car. I wanted to be a little bit selfish to your guys' detriment because I couldn't get you a video out. But I think we're going to enjoy this more because I've had the GTS. I love the AMG GT S. Right, if you want a second-hand GT that's affordable, please get a pre-facelift AMG GT S like I had. They are simply the dog's bollocks. You want to go a bit higher, go for the GTR. Very similar, very daily, amazing sound, amazing performance. Cracking car, I loved it. Between those two cars, I did probably 25,000 miles between the two of them. Loved every second of it. GT63S, again, a highlight of the GT family. Loved it, did 15 or 17,000 miles, whatever I did in that car. Everything else, a little bit like unnecessary filler, in fact. I mean, really all you ever needed was GTS, GTR, the four-door, and then hopefully, I'm hoping that this will prove a point. Well, it already has. I mean, it's the fastest car without a cheeky performance kit on the Nürburgring in the world right now. And surely that justifies both the price tag and its level as the top AMG GT. But I really want to drive it to see, you know, is it as good as AMG claim it is? Is it going to have the emotion that's necessary for a Black Series? We'll see all that happen. I'll also put the car up against my lovely C63 so you can wait to see the two of the Black Series together when the full review happens. So guys, huge thanks for sticking with me on this very personal car collection video of the Bat Series, as I'm going to call it. If you enjoyed this, please do subscribe. Let's get RBR to 1 million subscribers, and I'll see you guys next time.